Welcome to Think Poetry, people. A wise man may look ridiculous in the company of fools, but wise men speak because they have something to say. And a fool just wants to say something or be heard, whether truthful or false. Part the poet, part Plato, and part Thomas Fuller. And I got to do a couple of biblicals, you know what I'm saying? Because black people won't make it official until you put in some biblical. So I'm going to do these two biblicals for sleep and wake, because prayer to black people is essential to be a living thing, or an image and likeness, or a model. The mode. People, Proverbs 18. Fools have no interest in the understanding. They only want to air their opinions with no facts behind it. These are facts. Isaiah 32. Only a fool would think that God would leave you astray or vulnerable to something more powerful than his models. Welcome to the cabaret. Let's think bigger than regular for a moment, people. With definition and essential. What are the ingredients? Substances. What is needed to compose a perfect symmetry or to create a living thing, both in effect or by scientifical, not opinional people. You understand the poet? So let's start digging deep and name what essentials are needed to be a living thing. Well, common sense says if you ain't living, then you ain't killing anything. But maybe that's just me. And common sense, collaborating with truthful. That's all, folks. Now, listen to the essentials to what is life. And listen to the essentials of what you need to be a living thing. First, you got to have one or more cells. Homeostasis, man, to generate properties, pH, balance, and temperature. Then you got to be able to make energy, be able to grow, be able to evolve, be able to respond to stimuli, be able to reproduce. Come on, you got to have ribosomes, cytoplasms, mitochondria, and deoxy in your ribonucleic acid. Because without the deoxy in your ribonucleic acid, you'll be just that, nucleic acid. You understand? Synonym to virus, parasite. You understand? Because viruses can only mutate within self and can only replicate or evolve if they are inside the possession of a living host. Unquote. I couldn't help but look this stuff up, folks. Because the rabbits, they digging deep in this Cooper crap. And they are denying, lying, contradicting, and engendering something evil, people, I promise. And only them. You hear me? And only them. The Lord God and their God of Israel. Yes, it knows what they are doing. Now back to this viral mess that we are all sick of. Achoo! Pardon me. Now, have you ever heard of OIP? Obligate intracellular parasites. Obligate meaning they have to remain or stay in place. Intra means inside of that particular. Cellular from Latin, a little chamber. You know what I'm saying? Relative to a particular part of a system. Parasites is not a living thing without the blood of a people. How you adding with the Pope? Add goddamn black people. How many proofs of enormity and transgression / malicious propaganda do we need to see and hear before we open up the dictionary and read the real meaning of a virus? A virus is an organism, listen, an individual single cell material or structure. So there it is right there, meaning in a concrete structure of definition. You, meaning you, virus, you need two phases to be a living thing because you are a particle. You understand? Or a smaller part of something, and it's 1 million times smaller than the smallest living organism called bacteria. You ever heard of him? Well, he's a living creature feature. So it can only be Paul Bearer if injected or ingested. Fact check. Go recheck it. Go vet it like the poet did, people. At least not the viral particle. Because that's not alive, people. So acute, accurate definition and description in this narrative that they give us say a virus is not a living thing unless it enters a living cell thing. Unquote. Persons of insightful and meaningful interest. Are we reading the tablets and the pamphlets, people? These poisonous people are purposely omitting facts and placing obnoxious errors in the manuscripts, and that's why I say they are purposely adding or admitting obnoxious terminology to the people, telling us that the same thing or something that's viral or parasitical can stop you from walking, talking, breathing from the area. People, I use the proper definitions from virology.com, epidemiology.com, New England Journal of Medicine, which is the most prestigious medical journal on the planet. And I use quotes from Dr. Coffey. You know, he graduated from Harvard and MIT with an MD and a PhD. Goddamn, black people is not alive by acute definition. So by common sense, it's an effing lying fraudulent. Man, and we don't know, people. We all know. You hear me? We all know that this fake-ass killer viral was made in a slanted Chinese labo. So it can't kill you viral. It's called common sense, people. Quick point. And then we finish. You know, I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we had 400 homicides this year, and I met 3 of them. Well, Boston has had 98, and I know 2. Atlanta has had over 200, and I know 1. Now, New York, matter of fact, Brooklyn has had over 200 murders, and I know 2 of them. Now, Philadelphia got 1.5 million people. Boston got 700,000. Now, in the city proper of Atlanta, there's 400,000 people, plus 8 billion stories in New York, people, which is a grand total of 10.6 plus million people. And I know 7 that was murdered. You know why? Because it really happens, folks. Now, I got 8 siblings, and I got massive cousins and family in Florida, Georgia, Michigan, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, D.C., New York, California, North Click, Alabama, Mississippi, Seattle, Portland, Cleveland, and Indianapolis. And I don't know one person that died from this virus. Is not a living thing or a disease. You understand me? And I only heard 2. That's it. 2 of my massive family that represents 17 states, people, and I only heard 2 that even got it. You know what I'm saying? But the nebulous, erroneous, wicked script news, you know what they say, people, over 250,000 dead and 3+ million infected. And with my massive family of 17 states and 150 people plus representation, I know 2 recipients of this so-called killer virus, and are in viral. People, it's mental. So I know. I don't think I know 7 people murdered. I mean, you can see the chances slim, because it's none real. This is a viral trance they put us in. Wake up, black people. I mean, how many acute, precise, orthodox examples of untruthfuls do you need to know? You understand? Because you should be already past the believable part. You know what I'm saying? So how many acute, precise, orthodox examples of untruthful do you need to see, people? And don't just scam the inverted propaganda. Sip the real language and meaning of all these things that go viral. Like a dictionary? You understand what I mean, people? Read. They lying. Welcome to the cabaret of proper definition, people. You understand? Now, I ain't calling the liar, I mean the virus a liar, people. I'm just debunking his facts. How can you kill me, virus, when the things that you need to be essential to what life is or to be a living thing, you got to have 1 or more cells. Homeostasis, man, you got to make energy. You got to be able to grow, evolve, respond to stimuli, reproduce. You ain't got no ribosomes, no cytoplasm, no mitochondria, and no deoxy in your ribonucleic acid. Well, without the deoxy in your ribonucleic acid, then you'll just be that, acid. Synonym to virus, parasite. People, they need our blood to live. People, I just broke it down. Now, if a white person told you that same definition, you'd be like, I get it. I get it now. Now that makes sense. But just because this face did it, you'll never believe this face. That's a damn shame now. That's a cute definition. Virology.com, epidemiology.com, Dr. Kaufman. MD, PhD, MIT, Harvard. Come on, man. Those are top notches, ain't they? New England Journal of Medicine, people. A virus at maximum, can only be correlation, never ever causation of any death. It's not a living thing, people. Peace creation back. Welcome to the cabaret. This beat says indica. And I'm trying to scream to y'all loudly. You understand me? Peace creation back.